everyone, I'm Captain Logan.
And I'm Steve Paxton.
And it's time once again
to recommend things.
Steve!
Captain.
Gonna recommend some stuff.
We are. We're gonna recommend things and stuff.
Things and stuff. Well, Steve, will you be recommending a thing or a piece of stuff today?
I guess both, depending on how you think about it.
What do you recommend today?
Today, I recommend a book called What is Literature?
Ooh!
This was a book that I've been reading for the last 2 months or so. I've been writing a paper on it, and it's written by Jean-Paul Sartre, and you can look at it as an interesting philosophical case study, but I'm not recommending it as that. I'm not recommending the philosophy of it at all, but it's a book about why people write, about why writing is important, and what the state of writing was back when Sartre was writing his novels and plays and such back in the 1940s and 50s.
Ooh, can I have that for Christmas?
Huh?
I need to read that.
Yeah, no, I when we were chatting a few weeks ago, I started sending you excerpts from the book to see if you agreed with them, and
That's where that came from.
Did.
Okay, yeah, I remember that. I just didn't realize that was the book.
Yeah, that's the book. It's divided into 4 sections. There's a section that's called What is Writing, there's one that's called Why Write, and then there's one that's called For Whom Does One Write, and it ends with the situation of the writer in 1947. So basically what he does is he breaks down why prose writing is important and different from everything else. Why writing in prose is different from painting, or different from poetry, or different from film and all that stuff. And then he goes into what the connection is between a writer and a reader. And he's got this great analysis of like how if you write something, you are incapable of reading it. Because no matter how far away you get from it, your mind is in some way able to predict or get into the headspace that you've created.
Yeah.
And if you're reading it, that doesn't happen. And so reading it makes the thing that's being read objective, but writing it makes it subjective. And so there's a relationship where the writer needs the reader and the reader needs the writer, because they're the ones that are determining the reality of the book you're reading together.
So he's against.
It's really interesting.
So he would be against the notion of writing only for yourself. He'd think that's pointless.
He doesn't think that's pointless.
He doesn't.
Writing for yourself is important, but writing for yourself only matters if you grow with the work. So, like, if you write for self-discovery and you get yourself wrong, and the reader's able to point that out to you, that's important. You have to be able to acknowledge that.
And so then it's also
people just write confirmation bias, and he doesn't support that.
And it's just about purpose then.
Yeah, exactly. It's really good. It's really interesting. There's some metaphysical stuff in there that I don't agree with at all, but the ideas of why to write and what the power of literature and stuff is really interesting. Sartre was the student of Martin Heidegger, and Martin Heidegger used to say that the definitive form of art is poetry, and here Sartre saying that it's prose writing, and he doesn't like poetry at all. So there's a bit of the opening where like he's saying that writing is better than all other forms of art. So once you get past that stuff, it gets really interesting.
That's well. I mean, it sounds like his sensibilities are sort of close to mine. Although once I finally forced myself to take a class on writing poetry, and did the work myself, I started to find an appreciation for it. I still don't like it as much as I like writing or reading prose, and I don't find as much worth in it myself. But
yeah, it's a little bit. It's a case by case thing. Like, I like writing, I like poetry, but like I've always been more of a film person as opposed to any other kind of art.
Oh, okay.
The other thing I'll mention is to tie it back into geeky things. If you sit down and watch Joss Whedon's Angel, Angel is pretty much just a massive 5-season dissertation on Sartre. Like that, everything about that show comes from him. So if you start reading this and you get those sensibilities, you're thinking of Whedon. Or if you're watching Whedon and you like it, you'll like this.
I have a feeling when I read that, a lot of things are going to just come together for me. Because obviously I love Angel about as much as you do, and I wouldn't have thought of that's really cool. Well, thanks for recommending that, because see, I like recommends because people recommend things that I want to get, and I'm gonna have to look into that. Steve, today I'm also recommending a book. Very rarely do I end up recommending a thing in the same medium as another person, except Vince and I used to end up with action figures together a lot. But other than that, today I'm recommending a little book called Geek Wisdom: Embracing the Sacred Teachings of Pop Culture.
Oh, cool.
And I don't know if you've seen this, but this is a Hallmark book, and it's written by Stephen H. Seagal. Stephen H. Seagal. And
Steven Seagal.
yeah, Steven Seagal wrote this geeky book. No, it's a eclectic collection of quotes from various geeky things, mostly movies and TV shows, but running the gambit. And this guy digs real deep and goes to some very obscure things that you wouldn't expect to pop up. This came out just a couple years ago, I think. So it 2011, so it's relatively recent. And like it hits kind of every genre, and it's not just a book of quotes. He goes in and gives analysis for each of the quotes and talks about kind of the significance of the idea in permeating pop culture and in how it relates to the thing that it came from. Sometimes I think he reads a little bit too far into things. He'll take 3 words, and sometimes he's not talking enough about the piece itself, and he goes a little bit too far in just isolating that out of context. But he doesn't do that too much, and it's a really tongue-in-cheek and silly book also, so there's a lot of actual wisdom that you can take from it, and some some decent pop culture analysis that you can take from it. And then sometimes he's just messing with you and being silly, and that's a lot of fun too. But I'll flip to some random things. There's a quote from Snow Crash in here. He's got "I have been and always shall be your friend" from Wrath of Khan. He's got "No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die." What else? Dune, the spice must flow. Let's see. So It Goes from Slaughterhouse 5. Like, stuff that you would not really expect. Oh, there are 4 lights from Picard from TNG. That's awesome. Okay, maybe too much Star Trek, but that's fine with me. Oh, this is great. Oh Boy from Quantum Leap. He has a whole page on Oh Boy from Quantum Leap. And begins his little dissertation on that by saying one of the most important things in life is maintaining the proper perspective. There's 2 pages. One is "There is no spoon" for The Matrix, and on the other side is "Spoon" from The Tick. Somebody made this book for me. It's fantastic.
How do you deeply analyze Spoon?
Okay, let's find out. Well, apparently you can have it both ways. That, or this is just an example of one innocuous object being given 2 very different contexts. Too bad, a Tick-on Neo fight already feels like one of the most amazing missed opportunities in cinema history. Strangely,
it is. Oh my god.
Strangely, this battle cry has more in common with the quasi-Zen aphorism than would seem immediately apparent. Oh, so he's writing these 2 pages together. The world in which the Tick lives is mostly imaginary too. That's true. This guy gets the Tick. In impenetrable, self-congratulatory headspace. I just love that sentence. I want to marry that sentence. In the real world, the Tick is less likely to be a costume crime fighter than he is to be your office's project manager, unable to understand what's really going on, but enthusiastic about it nonetheless, and more than happy to take the credit for anything that goes well. Since there's little you can do to get rid of him, maybe seeing him as a spoon shouting butt of the joke will at least keep you from boiling over and stapling his hand. This guy, not only is he pulling some great quotes, this guy can write.
That's really well written, yeah. I love his tone of voice.
Me too. He's got a really great personal tone. This is fantastic. This is fun. I found this at some little secondhand store. I didn't even know this existed, and I found it dirt cheap and thought I'd take a look at it. He even has a quote from Hamlet in here, so I guess he'll go anywhere, and I guess geekdom is just literature at all. So anyway, that's my recommendation today. And the back of this is fun because he put I haven't even looked at this. He just put a bunch of quotes all in a row that aren't connected to each other in any way whatsoever. Ending with "The cake is a lie, inconceivable, don't panic, and resistance is futile."
He's got the cake is a lie?
He's got the cake is a lie, yeah.
That's awesome. The cake is a lie.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. Ray,
that's awesome. I need to get that book.
Ray, when someone asks you if you were a god, you say yes? I want a situation to happen in Star Wars where someone can say that to Ray. In Star Wars. She's like, no, I'm not a god.
I'm going to say it to her. Oh, Dameron.
Like, Snoke is like, are you a god? She's like, no. He's like, no, you say yes! Anyway. But yeah, that's what I recommend. So, we're recommending reading today.
Yes, reading is good for you. Go do it.
Everybody, thanks as always for watching Recommends. We'll see you again next week. I am Captain Logan.
And I'm Steve Baxley.
We'll see you later.